Okay. My name's Mark Greening. I've got 5 minutes, so I'm going to make a 5-minute pitch. I'm going to go to 3 points really. Why am I standing? What can I bring to council? And obviously, what do I stand for? So why is a perfectly sane and sensible lawyer standing for council? I'm standing so you have the opportunity to hold the existing councillors accountable. And that's why we've got all these other candidates here, outstanding candidates. They're standing up, so you have an opportunity to actually select someone you think can do as good a job, or if not a better job. Or if you want to hold them accountable for things that you did not like or they did not do, then you have the opportunity to do that. So what do I bring to council? Well, I'm 41, although John, thankfully, I just insisted I'm 31, which is fantastic. I've worked in legal publishing for about 16 years. I've worked in startup companies, I've worked in locally owned companies, and I've worked in multinationals. So I've got a diverse background in regards to that. I had a bit of a stint in theatre down at Bats Theatre for a while, in my early student days, when I was much younger and more flexible. I've got a 7-year-old son. He is at Brooklyn, he goes to a school in Brooklyn. And I also coach football also for some 7-year-olds, and we're actually having our awards night on Friday and then another one on Saturday, and I'll be sprinting off to the candidates meeting on Saturday afternoon. So I think it's fair to say that I'm very much involved in the Lambton Ward. So what do I bring to council? Well, look, I'm a lawyer. I'm familiar with regulations and legislation, so I can kind of navigate my way around that kind of environment. I've got strong negotiation skills. Barrister and solicitor, we get kind of trained that, but in the 16 years that I worked in the legal industry, I've worked with some very strong-willed people. And if anyone here is an academic, or have worked with academics, they can be very strong-willed people. And I was actually praised once by one of the academic people I was working with, who basically said 16 academics is like herding 16 cats. And someone told me quite recently that council was quite similar. Thank you, Mike, for that. I've worked with the public and private sector. I've also been an advocate for people. I've represented people in employment mediation situations when they needed assistance. I've represented Arlington Estate and also in Kilbirnie, people who needed assistance with tenancy disputes, often with the council, which was a bit worrying. And I'm someone who you can trust. I've spent 16 years working in the legal industry. I've had a lot of customers, and one thing you have to do if you want to keep them all is they have to trust you. So I bring that with me as well. And if anyone knows me, they know that I'm a hard worker, and I give it absolutely 110% when I dive into something. And so you will get the best 3 years from me if you decide to vote for me. So what do I stand for? Well, I'm going to rattle off quite a few items here, and I've written quite a bit on a number of these items, and I would invite you to go visit my blog and read what I have to say, because I don't have a great deal of time. So forgive me if I kind of sound like I'm launching slogans here. I'm sure that you'll want to come back to me and maybe dig a little bit deeper if you've got a particular issue you want to talk about. But one of the primary reasons why I'm standing is I want a council that listens. I'm standing for a council that listens, because often we haven't seen that, certainly in the last 3 years. I think Manners Moor was a prime example of that, where you had 722 people make submissions, 74% against, and just ignored. We hear a lot about sustainable transport, and yet over the last 3 years we've seen Cobham Park built in Kilbirnie, and we've seen a whole lot of, what will be a whole lot of traffic congestion coming through the Basin Reserve.
1 minute.
I'm for protecting the Basin Reserve. Definitely don't want a flyover. I think it's an absolute ridiculous idea. There are much more better proposals, and I've provided a link to some of those on my blog. I'm protecting the waterfront. We don't need Variation 11, we need some more collaborative dialogue going on. I've heard the Mayor say we need certainty about 3-storey buildings. We can have some certainty, we just don't need them. We need to be investing in water. It's a priority. We're approaching a water crisis. We need to be investing in water supply, otherwise you're going to see meters. I am against meters. We don't need it. We have lots of water. The issue is storage. I support Wi-Fi. Trade Me apparently now does as well. So it's good to see that that policy being promoted by Jack Yen is getting support from the local community. I'm about also protecting our heritage. I think especially with the recent goings on down in Christchurch. And it's quite interesting to see the council are now retracting themselves from where they were before, where they relaxed the rules, they're now revisiting it. It's great, but they're putting a burden on those people who have those buildings. And we should not be doing that. If they've got resource consent applications to fix their home up, why are we charging them for it? It should be free.
Time.
Thank you.
Thank you.